again, this is Robert Schein, Managing Director and Partner of Blanke, Schein Wealth Management. Today is November 3rd, 2020. It is the day we've all been waiting for. Ultimately, we should have some certainty, some clarity, if not today, but hopefully some point in time in the future. But get out there and vote. Again, I put voting as my number one subject heading today, specifically because I want to see if social media will actually flag this post. If you receive it, then you will know that it released it. If you don't, then we know. Social media might be playing some games. That was my first sort of little trick out of the gate to see if ultimately we all have to get out there and vote. And I want to see if social media is playing honest with all of us right now, because it's really important. One of the reasons why I pivoted to daily updates through my YouTube channel, Blanke, Schein Wealth Management. Again, we're getting close to 2,000 subscribers since we started in March. Daily updates, you guys have been wonderful. Our clients, friends, and family, a lot of sharing, liking, and subscribing. It has been amazing, but I'm coming directly to you specifically because the headlines have not reported very specific, interesting items that the markets are paying attention to. Unfortunately, there's a lot of gloom and doom out there, and ultimately markets have been going up in spite of all of the sort of misreporting or even lack of reporting of the financial news. That's what really matters to us here, our clients here at Blanke, Schein Wealth Management. Even though you can't see us face to face on a daily basis, it's important that we connect directly to you and give you our thoughts and our research on our daily updates. So that's what ultimately we're doing today in terms of our voting day. And I'm going to go through some election scenarios to let you know, regardless of the outcome, we're going to be okay. Our clients will do very well going forward, as they always have over the last several decades of us entrusting us to manage their wealth and their finances and guide them accordingly. And we will continue to do the same regardless of however anything turns out today. But let's go to the second topic, which is 87% of the time there's an indicator of ultimately the outcome or the presidential election outcome. What is that? Well, they look to the S&P 500, and you look to 3 months before the election day, so November 3rd going back to August 3rd. And if the S&P 500, if it's up 87% of the time since 1928, has correctly predicted with that percentage of indicating, the incumbent will win re-election. A few times in history where it doesn't play out, but it's a close to 90% prediction indicator. Where are we today, Rob? We are up. In fact, the market, if you've noticed in the last 48 hours, has rallied over 1,000 points, close to it. And that really doesn't happen. And why is that happening? I really believe that we're getting closer to certainty. Right? We're at that day where we're going to have an election outcome. I really also believe that the market's also predicting that we might have an outcome tonight. Even though the media and both camps and campaigns are setting everyone else for a long Supreme Court battle at the end of the year, much like we had back in Bush Gore 2000, and everyone's sort of lawyering up. And I don't think Philadelphia matters. Something tells me something's going on here. The markets are indicating that they see some certainty. Markets would be selling off if there was really going to be battleground states digging in. And not to say we're not going to have sort of the election shenanigans on both sides, sort of lawyering up and no one ultimately sort of conceding defeat and victory is going to be claimed by both sides. I do see that happening. But the markets are telling us something that's really interesting. Markets don't rally 1,000 points and plus or minus in 2 days before an election. That's kind of interesting to pay attention to. So let's go to our topics. Now, earlier I said Philadelphia. I actually meant Pennsylvania, the state of Pennsylvania, the 20 electoral votes. I really believe that the market is really seeing through and ultimately picking some certainty. So let's go to the board here in terms of election scenarios. Obviously, we want you to vote today, and either which way, this is the playbook going forward. So our plan on how to navigate portfolios at Blanke, Schein Wealth Management as what we can see. So the market's really not paying attention to sort of the presidency, Biden or Trump. It's really paying attention to the Senate, is what the election is hinged upon. And the reason why that is that it really then lies on, underlying that is the fiscal stimulus. As I said before, we have monetary and fiscal policy, monetary policy, Federal Reserve, and they're fully committed to making certain we stem off deflation and ultimately get inflation and full employment. Those are the two mandates of the Federal Reserve, but they're fully committed to do whatever they want, whatever they can do to help the liquidity needs and the spending needs going forward to get the U.S. economy out of sort of the depths of the economic destruction that we're in because of the coronavirus. So here's how it plays out down here. Ultimately, if you see president on top, Biden or Trump, you have the Senate's Republican or Democrat underneath each candidate, whoever takes over. You basically see a couple scenarios. The two scenarios that actually work best for the economy, if you will, is because there's going to be a lot of fiscal stimulus and spending from Congress. So the first scenario is if Biden wins the White House and the Senate goes to the Democrats, ultimately you're going to see a lot of spending, fiscally speaking, like right out of the gate, and they're going to go for just about every program you can think of and then some, because there's no one and nothing to stop them, if you will. And that's elevation for the economy. They're going to see big stimulus bills, infrastructure. So there's going to be a lot of money and stimulus poured into the economy. Again, ultimately, that's good for investors. And here at Blanke Schein Wealth Management, we will position our portfolios accordingly to take advantage of that, as we have done in several times in the past. On the other side, the most likely scenario that could play out in terms of it's good for the economy is if Trump and the Republicans retain right where we are, they could pass some stimulus. Okay, that's going to be expansionary for the economy. The two scenarios that are sort of we got to be careful about is under Trump, if we have the Democrats take over, there's going to be gridlock, right? So Congress is going to be Democrats and then Trump is in the White House. They're going to have a stagflationary economy because they're just going to be back and forth and fighting back and forth, if you will. Under Biden, if you see the Republicans maintain Congress, if you will, by way of the Senate, not the obviously House of Representatives, there's going to be also more fighting there, infighting. So it's going to slow down any sort of possible stimulus. We will get it, but we won't get it to the likes of the other scenarios that we see. This could ultimately then play out to a deflationary scenario. So there are some definitive directions and ways that we will navigate our clients' portfolios. In fact, we've already done so in positioning for this election right now, but we will continue to. So either which way, we're prepared. Either which way, we have a game plan. And either which way, if you have outside investments you'd like us to review here at Blanke Schein Wealth Management, we've been doing that a lot lately. Maybe some 401ks that haven't quite rolled over yet to us, or anything else. You have assets in the bank that you want to sort of work better for you because the banks aren't paying us any money. We can come up with a scenario for you after November 3rd right now. But all eyes are on the election. Get out there and vote. And we will see how this plays out. And hopefully we have a definitive answer sooner than later. I think that's what the markets are predicting right now. And it's going to be interesting to watch. So we're going to be staying up late. Thanks again for watching. And again, like and subscribe and share to all your friends and family out there. And we will catch you tomorrow.